Hello and welcome back to Rue's Life. I'm here in the dining room and I've got a couple of things to unbox. I've got something here which you can probably already see. I've got something that I've already unpackaged, and then we'll hop over to the polytunnel because I've got a few bits and pieces there as well. So I decided to treat myself to a few things, one of which I've been wanting to get for a long time, one that was a bit of a spur of the moment, and then across at the polytunnel something that I really need. So let's not hang about. First of all is this Russell Hobbs slow cooker. Other brands of slow cooker are clearly available. This is just the one I decided to go for. So I did have a slow cooker many years ago, and when we moved to this house, because it's such a tiny cottage, we got rid of a lot of things that were in cupboards and cluttering up. But you know, with the cost of living crisis, which is really seriously affecting all of us, we've been thinking about different ways that we can save money. And because I grow all my own vegetables, and we've got an absolute freezer full, as well as a few things still going over at the plot, we also source meat as locally as we can. So we get a lot of game, so partridge and pheasant and duck. We also have locally sourced venison, and then I do sometimes manage to get hold of beef, occasionally lamb. So we try to always have plenty in the freezer that is organic, locally sourced, low food miles, high welfare, all the rest of it. So it just made sense that how can we prepare our food where it's costing us as little as possible. And we've done a lot of research into these slow cookers, and having a slow cooker on low is still going to be cheaper because we can produce, we don't mind eating the same thing 2 or 3 times, or we can pop it in the freezer, but we can make a big batch of something with the vegetables and the meat that we have, with, you know, just add in some stock, maybe a little bit of corn flour, but very basic extras that aren't going to cost a fortune. It's cheaper to slow cook that all in one pot than it would be to be, you know, having things on the stove, things in the oven, and so on. So this is the way forward. Now I haven't unboxed it yet, and it arrived like this. It didn't have an outer box on, which I was quite impressed with. It has come as a parcel delivery. So let's have a look and see what we've got. Don't know how easy this is going to be to get out of the box. I may have to tip it upside down. Ooh. I think this is the easiest way. Oh, there we go. That was not too taxing, was it? So I hate that these things come with all this polystyrene. Oh, mustn't break it. But it is what it is, isn't it? And of course, many moons ago, we used to break this polystyrene up and use it as crocks in the bottom of our pots. But of course, now we know better, because little bits of this are going to break off. A lot of that compost ends up in the compost heap, and then it goes onto our beds. So actually that's a big no-no now. But it is something I used to do, I am ashamed to say, when I didn't know any better. So it will just have to go to the recycling centre, because there's not really a lot we're gonna do with this. So already, without opening it and taking out the packaging, it feels good quality, and I know that sounds nuts, but it does. Oh, I just wish there wasn't so much packaging with everything, but hey, it is what it is. You know, even if you walk into a shop these days, they still come packaged like this, don't they? So I was impressed that it didn't have extra outer packaging. So here's the lid. Here is the mate. It's a 3.5 or 3.5 litre with the crock pot middle, so you know, a ceramic middle. I mustn't say crock pot, I think that's actually a brand, isn't it? But you know what I mean. Oh, that's absolutely lovely. There we are. So that's a really good size. I'm really pleased with that. And let's have a look at the instructions. Yeah, so I'll peruse those at my leisure. I've used them before, it can't be that complicated. So I will give it a wash before I use it. but I'm looking forward to cooking up some tasty treats. So that's sort of gift number one. Let's pop that to one side. And then I've already opened this, and I may have already mentioned it in a previous video, but this was a little bit of a gift to myself. And this is Catherine Ballum and Charles Dowding. It's a no-dig cookbook. If you're watching, to certain people that were teasing me about this, that there's no difference between no-dig or dig when it comes to cooking, absolutely 100% agree, but I think it's just promoting the whole kind of ethos, isn't it? So seasonal feasts from homegrown vegetables, and that's the bit that struck me. So it's a really lovely book. I can highly recommend it. We haven't cooked anything out of it yet, but I have had some ideas. And it's just got all sorts in it, from bread, pestos, dips and sauces, salads, but also some really good, meals. And I'm really, really looking forward to trying some more out and reading a bit more about it. So I'm just going to show you some of the pictures. I don't know if you can see that. But what I like about it, so it's got the recipes. So let's find, there was one that really jumped out at me. So obviously we've got the introduction, and then, as I say, we've got the recipes, but if I could just find it, stews and hot dishes, that's what really jumped out at me at this time of the year. So there's a whole section here. We've got beetroot curry, celeriac gratin, charred bargies. They look absolutely amazing. So we've got the recipe. I mean, this beetroot curry looks lush, and it'll have the ingredients, but then it's also got use what you've grown, so it's got alternatives and replacements, so you can use what you've actually got. And then there's little bits which I'm struggling to find now. There's sections on, here we are, Charles' advice on growing your own. So after each section of recipe, there'll be a little section on growing those particular vegetables that are in that recipe. And I just really like that it's got some hints and tips on each vegetable for growing, and then obviously some really, really lovely recipes. And I can really recommend this book. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's a hardback, which I like, for having in the kitchen. Yeah, really, really pleased with that. So it is a little bit milder today, but it's still chilly outside. So I'm going to just wrap up, and then let's hop over to the polytunnel and I'll show you what else I've been buying. So here we are in the polytunnel, and I'm going to start. I'm not actually going to take the bubble wrap off this, but this is, I've had this a little while now. It's my Algon. It's a big tub of Algon for spraying the inner and the outer of the polytunnel. But I'm going to keep the bubble wrap on it to protect it if the temperatures drop, and I'll just pop that to one side. And then what have we got in here? So this actually came in 2 boxes. So I'll pop one to one side and let's open it up. And this is something I already have 4 of, but I'm always finding that it's not enough and I want more. And we are coming up to seed sowing time. So I have bought another 4 of these seed propagators. So there's 4 in this box, well 3 in this box, and another 1 that came in another little box. So let's have a little look. And I know exactly what they're going to be because I've had these before. Nice big cardboard box that I can use on one of the beds. So here they are. So they're exactly as you would expect. So let's open one up. So it's just your bog standard. Whoa, it's a bit stuck. And I find that these, they've got a good long life. It is really very stuck. Hang on just a moment. There we are. So we've got the gravel or drip or seed tray in the bottom, and then a nice plastic lid with, I like these vented ones, so I'll always start them closed, and then as soon as my seeds start to germinate I will open them up a little bit. So 4 of those to add to the 4 that I've already got, and I really, really like these. I find you can either fit one standard seed tray in the bottom, or obviously 2 of the half ones, or a number of pots. But one of the things I need to do gradually, because I've already got lots of pots, and obviously I'm trying to cut back, as many of us are, on our single-use plastic, so I do reuse all my plant pots, and all the pots I have at the moment are round. So you can fit them in here, but of course if I had square pots, they would fit much better into here, and I'd be using the space a lot better. So 4 of those, my algon, my book, and of course the slow cooker. So I'm really pleased with those sort of little gifts to myself, if you will. Some essential, like the algon. I personally do consider my propagators essential as well. As I say, I've already got 4 in the shed, so I'll dig those out, and I'm looking forward to getting some seeds sown tomorrow, and that will be coming up in my next video, so watch this space. The slow cooker, I can't wait to get some use out of that, and I know it's going to be really, really helpful in so many ways. And of course my book, so I can use some of the recipes out of the book to cook some delicious meals in the slow cooker. So do let me know in the comments below, did you get any, if you are somebody that gives gifts over the festive season, did you receive some lovely gifts, or have you bought anything for yourself recently? And if so, what is it? Do drop me a comment below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you've liked this video. There will be a video coming up on the screen right about now if you've enjoyed this one, so please do go ahead and watch that. But for now, take care, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.